Yo, what's crackin' everybody? It's your boy Shane Brown from the Billion Dollar Mindset. Make sure you like, subscribe, and show some love if you can. Holla at your boy. Anyways, we are back here at episode number 2 for the year in 2026. And what we're going to do is we are going to hurry up and get over and discuss a federal lawsuit that was filed back in March 14th, 2025, that I filed in federal court in regards to my state case, but I'm not going to talk about my state case. We're going to talk about the federal court. We're going to talk about Title 4D, Title 4E, what I'm doing and what I've done differently. And what we are going to do is we're just pretty much going to check this out. People have been asking, they've been asking for advice, and I'm here to tell you, listen, I am not here to give you any advice. I am not a lawyer. I am not an attorney. I don't want to be one. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm not here to sell you courses. I'm not here to write a book about this. I don't want to deal with none of this. I just want my kids. I'm a proud father. We never give up, baby. And everything I'm going to be doing now is ready to make some motherfucking money. All right. So what this is me basically kind of letting go. I'm letting go of the pro se warrior, and I am ready to get to work. I'm ready to make some money, and I'm ready to hire a badass motherfucking attorney in every level in order to represent me, and I'm going to hire the best of the best. And so right now we're going to discuss the case. We're going to get it over with. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things in regards to what I've done, what I'm doing differently now, different aspects of research that I've done, and that's what we're discussing. I'm providing all of that information for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to discuss kind of different aspects of the case and ways that I could just, hey, ask for your advice. And I'm going to throw different things that I added and updated recently in my opposition in my recent motion to dismisses that was filed on October 6th. And again, remember, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, so if I don't sound like I know what I'm talking about, you know what, you're probably right, because I probably don't. I only just went a deep dive, spent a good 2 years as an AI pro se warrior in state court and federal court. And as of right now, we are at a position where I'm very blessed and grateful and respecting the judicial process in regards to the fact that, we have even made it this far, so therefore that I believe that the judges are giving me a lot of time in regards to looking at what I try to present. I did get a response from one of the judges who were extremely harsh, but actually she was not wrong at all. And so I completely changed everything once I got her initial opinion after I tried to file an emergency at that time. I tried to file a bunch of different stuff. So, yeah, again, hey, I am here. I have made mistakes. I am not perfect. If you ever reviewed this case or had a chance to, you'll probably find a lot of stuff that I did wrong in regards to just that, I'm a pro se. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a state attorney. I'm not a federal attorney. I'm not a family law attorney. I'm not a criminal attorney. I'm not a civil rights attorney. So, take this for the grain of salt that it is, that there's probably, very limited value that you can get from this from an expert level, because I am not. But what I am going to do is I am going to provide you all of the information and how and what I'm doing, what I've done differently, and all of that good stuff. Blah, 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 blah. You'll hear that a lot. All right, so check this out. So we got a minute left on this right now, and then we are going to switch it up right now. So this is basically something that I would recommend. This is my case. You can see here that the last time it was filed was October 6th, and I filed this on March 14th, 2025, which is really cool personally, just as, again, somebody who's doesn't do this. You can check out all of the different filings on Court Listener, Pacer, all that fun stuff, but go to authorities. If you go over here, these are all the different basically Supreme Court precedents that were found, extracted, and used through metadata, through Court Listener, exactly per se, from what I understand. So if you want to look at all of the different types of Supreme Court case laws, precedents, and cases that I used, you can check this out right here. So I'm trying to get a lot out. So if I sound all over the place, I am, because I'm trying to just go through this and not make it a thing. I want to show love to everybody, even the judicial system. the courts, Congress, families, parents, everybody. We all want to work together. So, all right, y'all. So check this out. Shane Brown, we're at the $1 Billion Mindset, and we're going to discuss the family law, family court system in Florida, but also representing all 50 states, us as a united parental front. And this is your boy Shane Brown. He's going to sit there and tell you that I am not going to create a bill. I am not going to write a book. I'm not going to create a course. I don't want to deal with any of this. I just want to see my kids. I just want them to be proud. And I just want to help everybody else. Why I focus on my personal brand, building out my business, and being the best version of myself and doing what I enjoy in order to be the best version of myself for my boys and for them to be proud and for me to make sure that I am a great father and a great provider in regards to respecting the judicial system, never complaining about child support, never complained about it since day one. That's never been an issue. It's literally about equal and shared parenting time. So, and all of that fun stuff. So anyways, the clock ran out. Let's move it to another one real quick. We'll do this one right here. We got that. And then we will get to my theory. All right. So the reason why this video specifically is very important is that I am going to give you an update of what I was doing and what I've done recently and ways that I would like your help and your thoughts from parents, from pro se, and especially attorneys from every level, advocates. You know, I want all of us to work together and hopefully see how we can all be united. Okay. And I know this is weird. Again, I'm not here to try to be part of this. I'm just asking, I'm showing this. I spent so much time on this, but I'm ready to let it go and just focus on what I'm good at. And that's just building businesses. I want to build my personal brand. I want to stream. I want to do podcasts. I want to do consulting interviews. I want to be a guest speaker and I want to just make my boys proud. And I can't say that enough. I love trading cards. I love music, entertainment, my app, everything. So like, that's what I'm excited about here. All of this is just free. This is just what I've been through. This is not cool. This is not cool, man. I just love my kids. Excuse me. And that's what we're doing here. Okay. So, anyways, the reason why I went through that whole spiel is because we're going to go here and then here. All right, it ain't working. So what I'm trying to fix here, hey, you guys are going to work with me. This is like day one, January 1st, 2026. I'm trying to get over this stuff. So every day, every episode, you'll see shit better. I'm hoping the sound is good. I was having some kinks with the sound earlier, and now the clock ain't working, so we gonna work on the clock. And all those things are gonna be rotating, like kind of like pardon the interruption. And so we're going to have a lot of fun here. So this is a positive, 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 positive. All right. Everything I'm trying to project here is positive in every level. Okay. So let's get into it. This kind of give you an idea of my thoughts as a pro se non-attorney based off of my experiences and what I've reviewed and gone over. Please follow me here. And this is what I am and am under the understanding of. Okay, so check this out. Work with me, everybody. Okay, so this is all on my iPad right here. So I'm gonna kind of like show you everything that I have right here. Okay, so you can kind of see that I'm like we'll be like yo. I just did that just so y'all can see I'm writing on it. Okay, so check this out. So all right, no matter if you're a mom, a dad, no matter if you're mom, dad, parent, non-custodial, we're all not going to be in agreement. And there's so many different statutes, laws, state laws, everything in regards to everybody's different cases. Okay, so let's just say whatever your case is, you're mad at what the other attorney did or your attorney. You're mad at what the judge did or the judge's decision or whatever he or she decided in any way, anything in regards to your whole case, no matter if it's a month old to 18 months old, 18 years old, whatever, you get it. If you're mad at the other parent, she did this, he did this, whatever, in regards to like whatever you're mad at, if that's just a way of like thinking about it on a very basic level. On the state level, there's all these different routes that you have to go through, regardless of who you're essentially like mad at or who you've been wronged by, if that's your opinion based off of your own case. And if you're mad at an attorney, you have to go through the state level and complain to the bar. If you're a judge, you have to complain to like the judiciary, JDQ, JDC, something like that. I want to say JDQ, that's what it's there. But again, I haven't gone through this in a long time. I've tried to let it go and just focus on building out the brand and just trying to get back to it. Okay, I'm trying to get back to that. So I have not reversed myself in the federal lawsuit. I am letting it go as of until waiting for the request and recommendation stage where we're at now, and then I'll proceed. I know what to do, and I've prepared myself so much that I already know what I'm going to do no matter what the decision is whenever that's made. But in the meantime, I can't dwell on that. I need to move forward. I need to get back to my kids. Okay, so just work with me. All right. In the state level, whenever you're mad at the attorneys or whatever, and let's just say that you talk or you hear a lot of stuff on social, which is again, this is in my lawsuit right here, is RICO, criminal, treated as a criminal, false allegations. And then what I did is I pursued, that based off of the law and what we're thinking, what I'm thinking is that, these are monetary damages, civil rights, due process violations, non-immunity. Like these are different things that I was looking into, that I was believing, and that, I'm sure during, and if you have representation and an attorney based off your case, that this happens. Okay. So, but since I don't, and I'm not represented, I'm pro se and started from March 14th, which is completely different. 9 months later, I learned a lot, and this is where I'm at as of today. So remember, everything that you read is going to be different to as of this video. So whenever it comes to, in my case, I discuss fee gates in regards to like child support. I've never once complained about child support. I always want to pay full whatever I have to pay in regards to child support. This is not about denying child support, not wanting to pay child support. In every motion in the state case, that has never once been an issue. Jail contempt, those are like kind of more criminal rather than civil, because my thoughts and theories are, why am I being treated as a criminal with jail threats? In regards to false allegations, and then they place, say like I call fee gates as like gals, supervised visitation center, and psych evaluations for what reason. And again, I can keep going, but I'm not trying to discuss my state and federal case and intertwining them, but I'm giving you what most people are dealing with in their own cases that have to do with these types of, in my federal case, what I called the fee gates, fee gated in regards to equal shared parenting time, because that's what I'm fighting for, is equal shared parenting time and my fundamental right to be a father. Okay, and my due process violations. And again, these are all based off of, I had an original shotgun pleading, and I removed all my allegations in regards to my original complaint, and I only focused on, in my federal complaint, on my due process violations, and I removed every single defendant from the state case, and who was immune, because if you, again, there's all these different laws and legal aspects of ways to better explain this legally, but just from a basic point of view, in a federal lawsuit, what I was trying to do originally is basically say, hey, here's all of the things that are going wrong in the state case by this person, this person, this person. Well, they're all immune. And there are different processes in the state that I need to do on a state level in order for that process to be fulfilled. And I have to go through those steps in the state level in order to prove my point. And it can go all the way, we'll get to the next page or whatnot, and show you here. So what my point is that Title 4D is basically kind of like child support enforcement obligations, and Title 4E is like DCF, CPS, and like adoption and stuff like that. And what I did is I removed everything, and what I wanted to focus on was that it was the enforcement agencies for the state that created the rules, that are enforcing the rules, that give the attorneys and the judges in the state the ability to make those decisions. And because my theory in regards to being treated as a criminal, as a theory in regards to clear and convincing evidence, preponderance of evidence, and how those are very important in regards to like criminal and civil, I was saying that based off of the enforcement agencies through the Department of Revenue and uh uh fucking, I'm all over the place. Department of Revenue and the Office of Child Support Enforcement. And again, these are just like not, I'm not trying to, not accusations or anything like that. So in regards to my case, because remember, I'm not, there's no domestic violence, no any of the stuff in regards to Title 4 DE. There was attempts, but it's again not allegations. I'm trying to, it's hard to explain because every case is going to be different. But in my federal lawsuit pro se, I removed all money damages. This is my whole point, is I removed all money damages. So I don't want any money. I don't care about money. I don't want any money. I'm doing this because I have a theory, and that I believe that I asked for an injunction, which we're going to get into on the next page, a preliminary injunction. Originally in March, I asked for a national preliminary injunction for the whole 50 states. So if my case were to go through and the federal lawsuit judge made a decision in regards to being unconstitutional, Title 4D is unconstitutional, then all 50 states and all of us were to be under this lawsuit. Well, through Trump versus CASA, that was no longer in play, and that's no longer in play anymore. So there's no more national injunctions. It's all, on a state level. So work with me as I bounce around, and this may not make sense to a lot, and it's okay, because I'm trying to make sense of it here for you, and I'm not an attorney. So what I did essentially, we're going to go all over the place, is I focused my federal lawsuit, removed all of the state level immune actors, defendants, and really focused on the state level enforcement agencies that had to deal with the enforcement actions that led to the violations of my due process in regards to what happened in the state level. And so what I did, and I'm just trying to explain, is that what I said in federal court was that I don't want you to look at any of the judge. Every decision can be and remain the same. This is calendar neutral. I don't need you to review what the judge did, what the attorneys did, what the other parent did, what's going on over here. I don't need you to review any of that, because if you do that, the federal judge is not allowed to over and supersede and control state level decisions and statutes and all that shit. So you know what I'm trying to say here. So in regards to that, that would make and dismiss my case, because I'm trying to have them review a state judge's decision, and they're not allowed to do that. And so what I did is I said, you know what? I don't even want you to look at what the judge did, what's going on, all of the information that's going on in the state case. I want you to see that based off, if the facts were true and these enforcement actions that took place in the state, if these actions did take place, and that there was funding received and through the Title 4D incentives and through my case and aspects in regards to the enforcement agencies. I got to try to make sure that I'm not like doing anything wrong here. So I'm trying to make sure I can explain this for you, that this is in Florida, that every state is different. So no matter what your state is, whatever you're mad at, this is what I'm saying is in regards to what I was doing differently and how I'm focusing on the enforcement agencies and the officers, and removed there. You have personal and official capacities. So I removed all of those hurdles that would normally block everybody from pursuing this. A lot of people want money, they want RICO, there's all of these different due process violations, and everybody wants money, and I'm doing a lawsuit, and these are valid, and I trust me, I did the same thing. So what I did is, since in order to have it at least seen, I had to remove all money. So I've been, like I said, doing this for 9 months since October, and I just see so many people doing grifting, and I had to give it up because I was just like all of us, thinking that, based off of what I learned, that there was like monetary value to this if the due process and the violations were found true, if that makes sense. And in my prayer for relief, the reason that I put in my prayer relief was like, that the mother would be taken care of until she was that till both of the kids were 18, that all her bills were taken care of, the child care expenses were taken care of, she was taken care of, she was compensated. So in my prayer for relief, I was saying that the college education, until they're done with college, that all of the therapy would be taken care of by these damages. So like, all of the damages weren't for me, even in that it was for the mother and the children, based off of what the enforcement actions caused between us, because we were best friends and blah, 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 blah. So I've been trying to like show love to both and all, and say like, yo, the system's causing, like, we used to be friends and blah, 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 blah. So again, no, this is not state, federal, just an opinion, just personal experiences. And so, anyways, so I'm trying to show you this. All docket remains the same. No money. I'm not asking for anything state. I'm only pursuing executive only. And so, what this means, and as we continue, and I explain more, you can just kind of see some notes. We have one more page, and then we'll go on because I talk a lot. And so, what we do is we have this is the next stage. All right, this is the next stage, so you get where I'm going, you can see what I'm trying to do, you can understand where I'm going with this to a certain extent, whether you're a pro se or an attorney or an advocate. If you're trying to get a bill passed, the only bill that I actually would recommend that I believe in is Tim Scott's bill. I am not a person who's going to try to create a bill. If anybody is trying to create a bill, please know that it will probably take about 3 to 5 years and a lot of time, effort, and funds. We're trying to make moves now. And so, with that being said, that's just my recommendation. And what I have in my federal lawsuit since March of 2025 was Tim Scott's bill. And so that's something that I would recommend. And so what I originally was trying to do again was a national preliminary injunction that would affect all 50 states if it were to found that Title 4D were found unconstitutional. And instead, in June, or I believe May or April, after my case, Trump versus Casa, which was basically what they ruled was nationwide injunctions. If they were, and a judge were to rule in a county, that it could affect all 50 states. And so, because of Trump versus Casa, nationwide injunctions are no more. So I had to switch and switch it and figure out, be like, okay, well, how would I switch it? And so then I basically said, you know what, as pro se, I'm only asking for me and only me. And since I'm the only one that filed, I'm the only one that's asking for any changes. if the judge were to decide on my case, it would only affect me. It would not affect anybody else, and therefore that's the way that I would like to pursue my preliminary injunction during the stay, because we're under a stay right now. But if we were to move forward, once the stay is lifted, this is what I would like to present as my theory in regards to why the preliminary injunction and why I'm asking for it since March up until this day, and why this would affect only me, and why this would be executive only, calendar neutral, blah, 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 blah. And so here's my thought and theory, and this is what I need you guys to do. And again, every state is different. Now, these are not going to affect every state, but I do believe that these cases are something that you guys should look into. I added them to my federal lawsuit, and it was only again to represent again my theory. Ames versus Ohio Youth Services. This is more was a employment type discrimination. But what I used is in the federal lawsuit, in one of the responses, they said that I was an unhappy dad that was unhappy with the trial judge's decision. And so what I said was that that was a gender bias, and based off of the new precedent, Ames versus Ohio Youth Services, that they basically were biased against me because I was a father, and based off a recent Supreme Court precedent and this case law that they were not allowed to, as the enforcement agency, say that and use that as their own bias. So I try to use that and use that because I truly believe in my theory as of today that that's plausible. And also Haran versus Hayek, that was also a statewide decision in regards to a civil case. And again, these are all different, but I was using them to kind of cross-reference and point out different theories and how they all relate together. And then I would also like you to look at Starry versus Etheridge. That was a Texas case. That was a very important case. That was one of the biggest references that I used that tried to tie to my theory. Now, again, I used all of the Supreme Court precedents. I only use these three separately, but I only brought these up for you to look into. And these are something that can hopefully help you to research and do more research in regards to different cases and ways that we could possibly all help each other. Now, what do I have this pro se federal special master personal case? Well, in my recent filings in my federal lawsuit, because I'm pro se, what I did say is if the stay was lifted, that based off of the difficulty of being in a federal lawsuit, making this long and getting to the next stages, if we were to get into discovery and or a hearing and or a meeting, that I would still be able to do that. I'm still here, but that I reserve the right to request a special master for somebody that would be able to come over, that possibly that the court would recommend, and or that would be able to come on and take on my case as a special master because of what would be happening after and or if the stay was lifted and blah, 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 blah. So I'm not an attorney. I might be fucking up a lot of this, so excuse my language, but I'm just trying to explain my theory, what is in the case right now, my thoughts, my opinions, and also trying to protect myself by not speaking on regards to too much information that I don't know if I should be saying or not, but I know that this is information that I know that is plausible to provide because I hope it helps in giving you my theory and how you could use it and how we could work together and how attorneys could use it, advocates could use it, and everybody can just do the research, check out the site, check out the links, check out the link in the bio in regards to just free. This is all free. Everything's free. There's nothing, I want nothing. I just want your support on my journey, on being the best version of myself, the best version of myself for my kids. It's all for my kids. Everything I'm doing is for my kids. So this is not what I want to do. I want to build businesses. I want to grow. I want to launch my music app. I want to iconics. I love trading cards. sports, music, entertainment, film. You're going to hear that a lot, but I'm just saying this is not what I want to focus on. So I just want to help you. I just want to get back to my kids, and I just want the government, the Trump, I want Democrats, Republicans, moms, dad, all of us to work together for the kids. So, anyways, are you ready? This is what I'm fucking trying to talk about. So as we go to the next slide, this is the next notes. This is what I think is possible. I want, and I think you tell me. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but did I crack the code? Is this going to help us? Is this going to help you? This is what's going on in my case, is in and as a theory, could be something that you could look into in order to possibly make change now. Now, what do pro se AI warriors have in common? We possibly don't and or had have bad experiences with family law attorneys. Well, guess what, everybody? We need to stop that. We need to work together. Here's it. Are you ready? I don't know how to explain this. And again, I may be wrong. But in my federal lawsuit, I represented myself pro se. So you know what that means in a federal lawsuit? I am not allowed to represent myself as a class in a class action lawsuit. I am not allowed to represent myself in a class action lawsuit. But you know who is? This is what could possibly be done. I don't know. You tell me. Now, what if these advocacy groups, in regards to around the United States, and considering that every state has their own laws and that they have their own family laws in regards to how their incentives in Title 4D and E and how they all work in regards to the Human Health Services, the Department of Revenue, the Attorney General, all of the different national departments in line. I can go. That was all messed up. I know I messed that one up because I'm just trying to be smooth here with like, yo, I think I cracked the code, but I need your help in telling me, did I or did I not? And is this going to help us or is it going to help you? Because right now, this is not and or what I can do. So I can't do this. I'm pro se. I've already went that route in regards to this. So I cannot represent a class. Now, what I believe I can do, which I don't think I'm going to do because there's no reason for me to do, but maybe there's somebody that could represent and mention this case, Brown versus Florida Department of Revenue, and take a survey. And now that you have the United States and you have 50 states and all the different counties and districts, what if, you had parents or you had advocacy groups in every state, and through those states and counties, everybody were to take a survey. And if they were to take a survey and get so many people in maybe each county or per county, and had so many different parents that worked together and provided a survey together, and then took that survey and then provided all of that data and information to a attorney who were able to use that information, and or vice versa, say there were attorneys and or class action lawyers who wanted to focus on this in regards to county, city, state wide, and throw out surveys that how many families or parents have been affected by A, B, C, D, or E. And then what they do is from state by state, county by county, city by city, district by district, they were to file preliminary injunctions, because of course these are not going to be statewide. They're going to be very party specific. And so if more people can go and create class actions across the United States, what you're going to do is you're going to have parents and lawyers working together, and you're going to have different surveys for here's what happened, due process. Now, again, this is going to be a lot of work, but if there's a way that we could all possibly work together and utilize the Trump versus CASA update, that preliminary injunctions are not national anymore, but they can be statewide and or in regards to per individual or those who were affected, the more and more class action lawsuits per individual city and state and county and so on, the better and the more ability for those who take part in those type of surveys and class action lawsuits, the more it'll get noticed and picked up and recognized by Congress, and the laws could be changed. And remember, with bills, the only one that I recommend that I have down here is Tim Scott. Now, remember, bills take a long time. You have to get through Congress, you have to go through all the way up to the president in order for them to sign like a bill into law. So there's a huge 3 to 5, lots of money, lots of persuasion. There's a huge process for bills to get passed. But if preliminary injunctions were to pass and they were to be multiplied in regards to a state level domino, then I believe that the Human Health Services and the DHS, I'm sorry, like every state, all of their enforcement agencies, Congress, the president, your representatives from each state, it will become a very known issue and problem. And I believe that it's more than likely a better opportunity that changes could be then implemented faster, the more and more class action potential lawsuits that were to happen. And again, I may be wrong. I may not know what I'm talking about. So this may be bad advice. I'm here to ask you, what do you think? Now, again, these are certain different aspects that I can't do in my federal lawsuit because I'm only asking for relief for me, myself, and that's it. I dropped everything from everybody else. I'm not asking for money. I'm asking in for the judge to look at my case and say that it was unconstitutional. So I am looking for the judge to mention that it was unconstitutional in my case. And now, will that make any changes? No, but it could. And it could be something that you in Florida, and again, I don't know if you're able to do this. So, like, I'm thinking this is what I was thinking at a time, that if this is were to happen in my case, Brown versus Florida Department of Revenue, with love and respect to all defendants, that you would be able to mention, hey, in Brown versus Florida, blah, 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 this was mentioned, and you're able to bring up certain things and able to utilize certain theories from that and the due process checklist that I included in my recent filings that have to do with all of this. You can actually look at that 3-page due process checklist that I created, and with preliminary injunctions and class action lawsuits, and on a mass level, because there's so many of us that are affected, and in order for us to make change right away, I do believe that that is something that is an option. It might be able to crack the code in regards for us to work together and for Congress to pay attention. And that's what I mean by cracking the code. And, there's a lot of incentives. They make billions and trillions of dollars, and it's a 50-year-old institution. So, in regards to the Social Security Act and all of the different agencies, government agencies, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I have all that information. So again, all of the research that I've already done is for free. You can download the link. Let me know what you think. I know this is, a pretty long video. I just wanted to make this video to kind of show, and hopefully, you guys can get some value from it. This is kind of like, all of those are all dropped. Here's the authorities. Here's the whole case. You can check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, remember, I'm not an attorney. I may be wrong. Please let me know what your advice is. But my route that I decided to go essentially is that I am asking for executive only, calendar neutral enforcement type oversight in regards to the laws that they implemented through statutes that the state level actors are able to then pursue And so that's where I'm pursuing the executive actors. If that makes sense, that's all over the place. That was horrible. Please, that was horrible. Just, I am all over the place right now, so please forgive me. I can explain this a lot better, and you give me 15 minutes to read all of it again. I could whip, snap, and crack and pop that motherfucker right back into place and sound like a G when it comes to my legalese. Because hey, listen, man, I'm prepared for a a federal hearing, and I prepared in my state case, and just right now I just don't want to think about it anymore. That's why I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm ready to let it go. Let it go. I can't sing, but I'm ready to let it go. And I just love all y'all. I love my kids, and I want them to be proud. And I'm ready to make a lot of motherfucking money. And I'm ready to hire a motherfucking attorney, a badass attorney, a shark. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we need to get taken care of here. We need our rights. That's all. We need our rights. Um, we need more love. That's what we need. We need more love. Why can't we all just get along? I'll shut up. Anyways, yo, happy motherfucking New Year, January 1st, 2026. I'm trying to make these videos and get them out. I don't want to make this kind of shit, man. I got too much other shit to talk about, man. We got some money to make, baby. We got some businesses to grow. Every episode, you're going to see some new shit. I'll be growing. You know what I mean? I'll be growing. You're going to grow with me. So follow the journey. Holla at your boy. I can't wait for you to see just the journey and me back to my kids. Because God, I love them. I miss them. And everything is for them. You're going to hear that a lot. I ain't trying to be cheesy, man. But yep, we never give up, baby. Holla at your boy. Happy New Year. Did I crack the code? Was the code cracked? Let me know, man. Let's work together. Keep me posted. Holla at your boy. Check out the research. All love to everybody, government, Congress. I say that because this was done 50 years ago. So they don't really know what's going on. So if you think about it, like, they may think, as in what we all thought, is, oh, hey, that's just the way it is. But no, not anymore. So, we all need to be educated. And so maybe this will help. And so again, we need change. We need love. We need to unify, all of us, all parents. All right. And hey, man, lawyers, much love to you too. All right. Do the right thing, whatever that is. Just do the right thing. Be good people, man. Be good people. And grifters, don't be grifting. All y'all, don't be scheming. Don't be grifting. And stop taking money from parents to fill your own pockets. We need to take care of these kids, man. That's where the money needs to go. So make sure pay your child support so the kids get it. The money shouldn't be going to the kids, not all these damn everybody else. That's maybe I'm wrong. That's not, hey, that was love. That's no accusations. There's good people everywhere. I'm just saying, based off of my theory, that that's just with love. Everybody's great. Everybody's great. Everybody's great. You know what I mean, man. I want all of us to work together. Everybody, because there's good people out there. I know it. I'll shut up. Welcome to the $1 Billion Mindset. Shane Brown, welcome back. Just let your boy talk. We about to get in it. Man, I can't wait. God, I can't wait. I'm just trying to be goofy, man. I talk a lot. It's 45 minutes. I missed y'all. I did. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please let me know what y'all think, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll just end it like that. But I'm going to end it with love because I love y'all. And I love my boys. And I love everything. I love life. Let's go. Come on, baby. 2026. Time for shit to change. Holla at your boy. The $1 Billion Mindset. Like, follow, subscribe. Support your boy. Welcome. I'll shut up. Bye-bye now.